I found out about my sister's engagement on Instagram. Not from a call, not from our family group chat, but through a perfectly filtered photo of her perfectly manicured hand, sporting a perfectly enormous diamond ring. The caption read, I said, yes. Future wife. Wedding Bells 2024 chug perfectly us. My name is Daisy, and I'm the family disappointment, or at least that's how Victoria has always made me feel. I stared at my phone for a full minute before calling my mother. Mum, when did Victoria get engaged? Oh, darling, last weekend. Hayden proposed at the vineyard, didn't she tell you? We had the most wonderful celebration brunch on Sunday. My stomach dropped. No, actually, I wasn't invited. Oh, a pause. Well, you know how Victoria is with her aesthetic. It was very intimate, just close family and her closest friends. I'm her sister. Daisy, please don't start. You know how important this is for her. She's been planning her perfect wedding since she was 12. I hung up and texted Victoria directly. Congratulations on the engagement. Would have loved to celebrate with you. 3 hours later, she replied, Thanks. Sorry about the brunch. It was super last minute. But we'll definitely need your help with wedding prep. That night, my best friend Zoe came over with wine and takeout. Show me the post again, she demanded, settling onto my couch. I pulled up Victoria's Instagram. Now there were photos from the brunch. Mother beaming, father looking uncomfortable but present, Victoria's college friends all coordinated in pastels. 47 people tagged, none of them me. This is bullshit, Zoe declared, pouring more wine. Last minute. The place settings have calligraphy. The flower arrangements match everyone's outfits. This was planned weeks ago. Story of my life, I said, taking a long sip. Remember my high school graduation? Victoria scheduled her college orientation for the same day. Guess where my parents went? To be fair, you told me you didn't want a ceremony anyway. Because I knew they wouldn't come. God, I sound pathetic. My phone buzzed. A message from Aidan, my childhood friend. Hey Dee, saw Victoria's news. You okay? Before I could reply, another Instagram notification popped up. Victoria had posted again. Starting my wedding planning journey. Can't wait to share every perfect moment with my dream team. Wedding planning, mine, bride-to-be, tagged. Her 6 bridesmaids, her wedding planner, her stylist, her venue coordinator. She's really going all out, Zoe observed. Maison Estelle. That place has a 2-year waiting list. I froze. Maison Estelle? Are you sure? Yeah, it's tagged in the venue photos. Why? A memory surfaced. Me, helping their events director with a PR crisis last year. A favour that was never cashed in. My phone buzzed again. This time it was an email forward from Myla, a wedding stylist I'd met through work. Thought you should see this. I'm so sorry. Attached was an email thread about Victoria's wedding, a comprehensive guest list colour-coded by table assignments. 237 names. Mine wasn't one of them. I set down my wine glass carefully. Zoe? Yeah? Remember when you said I was too nice? That I let Victoria walk all over me? About 1,000 times, yes. I think I'm done being nice. Zoe sat up straighter, a slow smile spreading across her face. What are you thinking? I pulled out my laptop. First, I need to make a call to Jesse Richards. He's Victoria's dream wedding planner. And coincidentally, I know he's been desperate to work with that new Netflix star. The one planning her wedding next year. The very same. Then, I need to review some old emails from Maison Estelle. And after that, I smiled, feeling something shift inside me, like a key turning in a lock I didn't know existed. After that, we're going shopping. I need the perfect dress. For what? Zoe asked, even though her grin told me she already knew. For my sister's wedding, of course. She may not have invited me, but trust me, I'm going to be the guest everyone remembers. Tell me everything you know about Victoria, I said, spreading papers across Aidan's dining room table. Every secret, every scandal, every skeleton she thought she buried. Aidan raised an eyebrow. Are you sure about this? Once you start digging... She excluded me from her wedding, her own sister. Fair point. He opened his laptop. Remember that charity fundraiser she chaired in college? The one that got her that fancy job at the foundation? Yeah, well, his fingers flew across the keyboard. According to these old email threads, half the money never made it to the actual charity. She used it to fund her semester abroad instead. I jotted that down. Keep going. There's more from college. That girl who left suddenly junior year. The one Victoria said had a breakdown. Sarah something? She didn't have a breakdown. Victoria spread rumours about her sleeping with a professor. Sarah transferred to escape the harassment. I have the messages to prove it. My phone buzzed, Zoe calling. I put her on speaker. You'll never believe who I just had coffee with, she said. Myla, your sister's ex-wedding stylist. Ex? She quit this morning. Said she had creative differences with the bride. But here's the real tea. Victoria tried to get her to copy designs from a major fashion house. Straight up plagiarism. Mila has the sketches and emails. I added it to my growing list. Is she willing to talk? Better. She wants to help. Says Victoria's been a nightmare to work with. Oh, and get this, she's not the first vendor to jump ship. Aidan looked up from his screen. The catering company backed out too. Found their announcement on a private industry forum. Victoria must be losing it, I said, remembering her perfectionist tendencies. She hates when things aren't under her control. Speaking of control, Aidan said, remember that summer internship she got at the mayor's office? The one she claims launched her career? Yeah. Her supervisor just posted a very interesting Twitter thread about nepotism in politics. Doesn't name names, but... He turned his laptop to show me. I smiled. Save everything. Screenshots, emails, all of it. My phone buzzed again. A text from my mother. Darling, Victoria's having a small wedding shower next weekend. Family only. Please don't make things difficult. Family only? Zoe scoffed, reading over my shoulder. Then why did I see invites go out to half her Instagram followers? Because I'm not family, I said quietly. I'm an inconvenience. You're a threat, Aidan corrected. Always have been. You're smarter than her, more genuine. People actually like you, not just what you can do for them. Speaking of people liking you, Zoe cut in. Guess who else I ran into? Jesse Richards. My heart skipped. The wedding planner. Did our offer work? Better. He took that Netflix star's wedding and sent Victoria a cancellation email this morning. Said his schedule was overbooked. He also mentioned that Maison Estelle might have some scheduling conflicts coming up. I pulled out my phone and opened my email. There it was. A message from Maison Estelle's events director. Daisy, happy to return that favour now. The venue's all yours for whatever you need. Just keep my name out of it. It's happening, I said, looking at my collection of evidence. Everything's falling into place. Daisy, Aidan said seriously, are you sure you want to do this? This isn't just getting even. This is justice, I finished. This is years of being pushed aside, minimised, excluded. This is for every time she made me feel small, every time our parents chose her side, every fake smile and backhanded compliment. And the wedding? Zoe asked. I stood up, gathering my papers. The wedding will happen, but not the way Victoria planned. She wanted perfect. I'll give her perfect. So perfect it hurts. My phone buzzed one last time, another Instagram notification. Victoria posting about her dream wedding journey with her chosen family. I smiled, thinking of the journey ahead. Time to start making some calls. Victoria's not the only one who knows how to put on a show. What do you mean you're cancelling? Victoria's voice echoed through my apartment wall. She lived in the penthouse above me, a fact she never failed to mention. We have a contract. I sipped my coffee, listening to her pace. My phone buzzed with a text from Jessie. Done! She's all yours. The florist was next. I'd spent the morning reviewing their contract, finding the perfect loophole. One call to their legal department about Victoria's requested imported flowers violating local regulations and... The flowers too! Victoria shrieked above me. This is a nightmare! My phone rang. Myla. You won't believe what just happened, she said. Victoria's backup stylist just got offered a job with Vogue. Had to cancel immediately. Really? How fortunate for her career. You're scary good at this, Myla laughed. Listen, I have something else. Victoria's been lying about her dress. It's not a custom design. She's copying a dress from last season's runway. I have proof. Send it to Zoe. She'll know what to do with it. Speaking of Zoe, she burst through my door without knocking. The catering company just posted they had a fire in their kitchen. Have to cancel all events for the next 3 months. How tragic, I said, fighting a smile. You're evil, she grinned. I love it. My phone buzzed again. Aidan. Check your email. Found Victoria's private Pinterest board, the one where she's planning to recreate celebrity wedding photos, including budget breakdowns that don't match what she's telling vendors. Above us, Victoria was still having her meltdown. Mother, everything is falling apart. This isn't what I planned. I opened my laptop and clicked through the latest updates. The makeup artist had a family emergency. The videographer's equipment was stolen. The custom cake baker discovered a gluten allergy. How's the venue situation? Zoe asked. Maison Estelle is experiencing mysterious booking conflicts. They might have to shuffle some dates around. And the backup venues? All mysteriously booked solid. Funny how that works. My phone lit up with a family group chat message. Mother. Daisy, have you heard from any wedding vendors lately? Victoria's having some issues. Me. Sorry, been busy with work. Everything okay? Victoria. Like you don't know what's happening. Me. Mother. Victoria, darling. Daisy's not even involved in the wedding planning, remember? That hit exactly where I intended. 3 dots appeared as Victoria typed. Disappeared. Appeared again. Victoria. Whatever. I don't need help. I'll fix this myself. Zoe read over my shoulder. She's spiralling. Good, I said, opening another email, because phase 2 starts now. What's phase 2? I showed her the message I was drafting to Hayden's ex-girlfriend, Raquel. Remember how Victoria invited her to the wedding just to be petty? Let's see how she likes it when Raquel posts about their history. Their history. Hayden didn't just ghost Raquel for Victoria. He was still dating Raquel when he and Victoria got together. I have the proof. Where did you get that? Raquel works at my gym. We've had some interesting conversations in spin class. My phone buzzed with another update. The string quartet had double booked. The rental company was experiencing supply chain issues. The hotel block for guests had a plumbing emergency. Above me, Victoria's voice reached new octaves. What do you mean the invitations are delayed? I approved them weeks ago. Zoe checked her watch. The printing company should be calling any minute to explain about the paper shortage. You know what the best part is? I said, closing my laptop. I haven't done anything illegal, nothing that can be traced back to me, just a series of unfortunate coincidences. And perfectly timed favours. That too. I stood up, stretching. Want to grab lunch? I hear that new place by Victoria's backup venue is amazing. The one that's about to fail its health inspection? That's the one. As we left, Victoria's voice drifted down one last time. This was supposed to be perfect. Why is everything going wrong? I smiled, thinking of the weeks ahead. Oh, sister dear, I whispered. You haven't seen wrong yet. Turn slightly to the left, Zoe directed, adjusting her camera. Now lift your chin. Perfect. We were at Maison Estelle doing a test shoot for their new marketing materials. At least that's what the events director thought. In reality, we were rehearsing for Victoria's wedding day. The lighting in here is incredible, Zoe said, reviewing the photos, especially in that dress. The dress. I'd found it in a small boutique in Paris through an online vintage collector. It was everything Victoria's copied dress wanted to be. Elegant, timeless, and most importantly, original. Send those to Myla, I said, smoothing the silk. She'll know exactly how to time the social media posts. My phone buzzed. Aidan. Victoria just had a meltdown at the new caterer. They quit. Also, Raquel's story about Hayden is trending in their social circle. How's Victoria handling that? I asked. Not well. She's demanding Hayden make a public statement denying everything. But he can't, Zoe grinned, because Raquel has the receipts. Another buzz. Mother. Daisy, please call Victoria. She's convinced you're behind all this. Should I asked Zoe. Absolutely not. Let her spiral. I was about to respond when something caught my eye, an old photo album on the venue's bookshelf. I recognised it from their historical collection. Hold on, I said, pulling it down. A yellowed envelope fell out. What's that? Zoe asked. My hands shook as I opened it. Inside was a letter dated 15 years ago in my grandmother's handwriting. My dearest Daisy, I see you even when others don't. Your quiet strength, your clever mind, your kind heart. Don't let them dim your light. You shine differently than your sister, and that's what makes you special. One day, you'll show them all who you really are. I only wish I could be there to see it. All my love, Grandma Rose. Are you crying? Zoe asked softly. No, I lied, wiping my eyes. Just got something in my contact. My phone buzzed again. Victoria, I know what you're doing. Stop it. This is my wedding. I showed Zoe the message. Should I respond? Not yet. But speaking of the wedding, she pulled up her calendar. We need to finalise the timing. What exactly happens when you walk in? I smiled, tucking my grandmother's letter into my purse. First, you'll be positioned as the backup photographer, the one they had to hire last minute when their original one cancelled. Which happens tomorrow, by the way. Perfect. I'll arrive during the reception, right when Victoria's doing her spotlight dance with Hayden. The dress will catch the light exactly like in these test shots. And the music? Already handled. The DJ's getting a generous bonus to accidentally play the wrong song. The one Victoria specifically banned because it was Hayden and Raquel's song. My phone lit up with another family message. Mother. The rehearsal dinner venue just cancelled. Victoria's not eating. Please, if you know anything. Me. Sounds stressful. Have you tried that new place downtown? Victoria. That place failed its health inspection. Me. Oh, right. How unfortunate. Zoe snapped another photo. These are gorgeous. You look like you belong here. I do belong here, I said, thinking of my grandmother's letter. More than Victoria ever will. Speaking of belonging, Zoe said, wait until you see what Mila's planning for the bridesmaids' dresses. Apparently, there was a mix-up with the measurements. How bad? Let's just say Victoria won't be the only one having a fitting issue that day. I walked to the venue's grand staircase, the one Victoria had specifically chosen for her entrance. Standing at the top, I could see it all playing out. One more shot, Zoe called. Give me your best. I'm not here to ruin the wedding. I'm here to steal it look. I channeled every dismissive comment, every excluded moment, every time I was told to be more like my sister. Then I smiled, not Victoria's practiced social media smile, but something real and dangerous. Perfect, Zoe whispered, reviewing the shot. That's the one. Above us, the chandelier caught the light, throwing crystals across my dress. For a moment, I saw myself through my grandmother's eyes, shining differently, but shining bright. Victoria wants perfect, I said. Let's give her perfect. Will you be attending the wedding? Mother's text arrived at 3 a.m. Victoria needs final numbers. I waited until morning to reply in the family group chat. Since I wasn't formally invited, I'll have to decline, but I wish you all a perfect day. Victoria responded instantly. Don't act innocent. You've ruined everything, me. I've been busy with work. Not everything is about you, Mother. Girls, please. Victoria, darling. Maybe we should reconsider. Victoria. No. She'll ruin the aesthetic. I screenshotted the exchange and sent it to Zoe, who replied, She's really losing it. BTW, check Instagram. I opened the app to find Victoria had hired an influencer to promote her wedding. The post was painfully staged. Victoria in her candid wedding planning mode, surrounded by mood boards and sample flowers. The caption read, So honoured to be part of a Victoria Kent's journey to create the most spectacular wedding of the season. Wedding goals. Perfect bride. Is she serious? I texted Zoe. Oh, it gets better. The influencer. She's one of Raquel's best friends. My phone rang. Aidan. You're not going to believe this, he said without greeting. Victoria just invited Raquel to the wedding. What? Officially? With a +1. Apparently, she's trying to prove she's above the drama and totally over it. I laughed. How did Hayden take that news? He's been stress eating at the gym. Also, he keeps asking about you. Me. Yeah. Wanted to know if you were really not coming. Seemed disappointed. Interesting. I filed that information away for later. My phone buzzed with another notification. Mila had sent a video. Victoria was having a meltdown at the new wedding planner's office. This is not the shade of white I requested. Victoria's voice screeched through my speakers. The tablecloths have to match the exact tone of my dress. Ma'am, this is the only shade available after the supplier. I don't care. Fix it. Everything has to be perfect. I forwarded the video to Zoe. Think we should tell her about the dress mix-up yet? Zoe. Let her find out at the final fitting. Next week, right? Right after the bridesmaids discover their dresses are all slightly wrong. My phone lit up again. Mother calling this time, I answered, bracing myself. Daisy, please. Your sister is having anxiety attacks. The venue's still having scheduling issues. The new caterer's prices suddenly doubled, and now this business with Raquel. Sounds stressful, I said, examining my nails. Have you suggested she scale down? Maybe do something more intimate? You know she can't. The magazine feature is already arranged. I sat up straighter. Magazine feature? Yes. Some society publication is covering the wedding. Victoria's been promoting it on her social media. I hung up and immediately called Aidan. Find out everything you can about this magazine coverage. An hour later, he called back. Got it. She paid them. It's not a real feature. She basically bought advertising space and is passing it off as editorial coverage. Send me the proof. Already did. Check your email. I opened the attachment, a contract showing Victoria had paid $50,000 for what was essentially a glorified advertisement. Perfect, I whispered. My phone buzzed with a new Instagram notification. Victoria had posted again. Some people try to tear you down when you're creating something beautiful, but nothing can stop this perfect day from happening. Chucked unbothered. Bride and Javrid, blessed with the best. I typed out a comment. Can't wait to see all the photos. Then deleted it. Not yet. Instead, I opened my email and wrote to Maison Estelle's events director. About that scheduling conflict we discussed. Let's make it interesting. The response came quickly. The sprinkler system inspection. Consider it scheduled for the morning of. Don't worry, no water damage, just enough delay to throw off her timeline. I smiled, thinking of Victoria's perfectly planned schedule falling apart hour by hour. Thank you, I replied. And please, make sure all the mirrors in the bridal suite are working properly. I want my sister to see herself clearly on her big day. Very, very clearly. The fire marshal is here, Zoe reported from her position at Maison Estelle. Victoria's having a complete meltdown. I checked my watch. 9:15 a.m, exactly as planned. The wedding was scheduled for 4 p.m. How bad is it? I asked. They're saying the sprinkler inspection could take hours. Victoria's threatening to sue everyone. My phone buzzed. Mother. The makeup artist just called in sick. Please tell me you know someone. I did, actually. The best in the city, who just happened to be booked solid today by me. Sorry, can't help, I texted back. But I heard the drugstore has some nice options. Zoe's laugh crackled through the phone. You're evil. Oh, wait. Drama alert. The bridesmaids just arrived for hair and makeup. How do the dresses look? Every single one is slightly wrong. Wrong shade, wrong fit, wrong everything. They're all panicking. I smiled, opening my laptop to check the social media feeds. Right on cue, posts started appearing. Wedding day chaos. Can't believe this is happening. Worst wedding morning ever. Disaster. My phone rang. Aidan. Heads up, Hayden's having second thoughts. I just saw him at the hotel bar. He's on his 4th whiskey. What time is it there? 10 a.m. Perfect. Another text from Mother. The flowers are wrong. Everything's wrong. Victoria's locked herself in the bathroom. I forwarded the message to Mila, who replied instantly. Wait until she sees what's about to happen with her dress. On cue, my phone exploded with notifications. Victoria had gone live on Instagram, mascara running, screaming at her backup wedding planner. "The dress doesn't fit!" "How does it not fit? I haven't gained weight," I texted Zoe. "You got that, right?" "Recording everything." "Also, you might want to check the venue's social media." I did. Maison Estelle had just posted a stunning photo, me, from our test shoot, descending their famous staircase in my vintage dress. The caption read, "Timeless elegance at its finest. Cucked wedding season." Within minutes, Victoria called. "I know you're behind this," she hissed. "Oh, all of it." "Behind what?" "I'm not even invited, remember? The vendors, the venue, the dress, it's all you. You're trying to ruin my perfect day." "Victoria," I said calmly, "I think you're being paranoid. Maybe this is the universe telling you something about perfection." She hung up. Seconds later, Mother called. "Daisy, please, whatever you're doing, stop. Your sister is hysterical." "I'm not doing anything, Mother. But since you mentioned it, how does it feel? Always taking her side? Always dismissing me?" "How's that working out today?" Silence. "That's what I thought," I said, and hung up. Zoe texted, "Fire marshal's done. Only 3 hours behind schedule. Victoria's trying to push the ceremony back." "How are the guests handling that?" "They're not. Half of them are at the bar already. Oh, and Raquel just arrived, wearing white." I checked the time, 1 p.m, right on schedule. "Is everything set for my entrance?" I asked. "DJ's got the wrong song ready. Photographers are in position. Lighting will hit you perfectly on the stairs. You're going to look like a damn angel." My phone buzzed again. A message from Hayden. "Are you really not coming?" I showed Zoe his text. Should I respond? Absolutely not. Let him sweat. Another Instagram notification. Victoria posting through her tears. "No matter what forces try to destroy this day, love wins." Uchi unbothered bride, he tells. Perfectly imperfect. The comments were brutal. "Girl, take the hint." "Most dramatic bride ever." Is this a wedding or a reality show? I opened my closet where my dress hung waiting. In a few hours, I'd make my entrance, not as a guest, but as the main event. "Ready for the final act?" Zoe asked. "Almost," I said, pulling out my grandmother's letter. "Just need my something old." Above me, I could hear Victoria's sobs through the ceiling. Her perfect day was in shambles, her control slipping away with every passing hour. And I hadn't even arrived yet. The wedding ceremony had been a disaster. Victoria's dress didn't fit right, the flowers were wilting, and the string quartet played the wrong song during her walk down the aisle. Now, at the reception, I stood at the top of the grand staircase, waiting for my cue. "Ready?" Zoe whispered through my earpiece. She was positioned below, disguised as the backup photographer. "Born ready." The DJ's voice echoed through the ballroom, and now for their first dance as husband and wife. That's when the wrong song started playing. Not their chosen ballad, but Raquel and Hayden's old song. I heard Victoria's sharp gasp even from upstairs. "That's my signal," I murmured. I began my descent just as Victoria started berating the DJ. The vintage dress caught the light exactly as we'd planned, each crystal throwing rainbows across the walls. Conversations stopped mid-sentence. Heads turned. Phones raised. "Oh my God!" someone whispered. "Who is that?" Victoria spun around, her ill-fitting dress twisting awkwardly. Her face went from red to white in an instant. "No! No! No! No!" I reached the bottom of the stairs, smiling serenely. "Congratulations, sister dear. Sorry I'm late. Traffic was terrible." Hayden stepped forward, his eyes wide. "Daisy, you came?" "Of course." "I wouldn't miss my sister's perfect day." Victoria grabbed his arm, yanking him back. "You weren't invited." "Wasn't I? How embarrassing." I turned to the crowd, which had formed a circle around us. "Victoria, your mascara is running again." She reached for her face instinctively, smudging it worse. Zoe's camera clicked rapidly. "Security!" Victoria shrieked. "Get her out!" "Ma'am!" The venue manager stepped forward. "Ms. Daisy is on our VIP list." "She has full access to the venue. Victoria turned to our parents. "Mother! Daddy! Do something!" But they stood frozen, watching the scene unfold. Mother's carefully curated society smile was cracking. Father looked like he wanted to disappear into his champagne. "Beautiful dress," Myla called out from the crowd. "Is it vintage?" "Paris 1950s, I replied. "One of a kind, unlike some dresses here." Victoria's face contorted. She knew I knew about her copied design. "You've ruined everything," she hissed. "This was supposed to be my perfect day." "Perfect," I laughed softly. "Like the perfect brunch I wasn't invited to? The perfect family photos I'm not in? The perfect sister you've always pretended I wasn't?" Phones were recording now. The influencer Victoria hired was live streaming. "You want to talk about perfect?" I continued, my voice carrying across the silent room. "Perfect was watching you get everything while I got nothing. Perfect was being told I didn't fit your aesthetic. Perfect was being erased from my own family because I didn't meet your standards. That's not..." Victoria's voice cracked. "You're twisting everything." "Am I? Should we ask Raquel about twisting things?" I nodded toward her in the crowd. "Or maybe the charity you embezzled from? Or Sarah, the girl you bullied out of college?" Victoria lunged forward, but Hayden caught her arm. "Don't," he warned. "Not here. Listen to your husband," I smiled. "Wouldn't want to cause a scene. Bad for the aesthetic." I turned to the crowd, channeling every gracious hostess lesson our mother had taught Victoria instead of me. "Please, don't let me interrupt the celebrations. I believe dinner is served, although the menu had to be changed last minute." "Such a shame about all those cancellations." Victoria's face showed the exact moment she realised everything. Every vendor issue, every scheduling conflict, every little disaster had been me. "You," she whispered. "Me," I confirmed. "By the way, the magazine called. They're still running the feature, but they're focusing on how modern weddings often prioritise social media perfection over genuine family connections." "Ironic, isn't it?" the crowd murmured. Victoria's carefully crafted image was unravelling thread by thread. "Enjoy your perfect day, sister dear." I raised my champagne glass. "I know I will." As I glided toward the dinner tables, the whispers followed me. But they weren't the horrified kind Victoria had hoped for. They were admiring, intrigued. Every head turned to watch me, not the bride. Through my earpiece, Zoe whispered, "That was better than we planned." I touched my grandmother's letter, tucked safely in a hidden pocket. "No," I murmured. "That was perfect." "The photos are ready," Zoe announced, dropping a sleek envelope on my coffee table. "Want to see your handiwork?" I opened the envelope slowly, spreading the images across the table. There was Victoria, mascara-streaked and furious. Hayden, looking lost and confused. The bridesmaids in their mismatched dresses. And me, descending those stairs like I owned them. "These are going in my portfolio," Zoe declared. "I'm calling it When Karma Plans a Wedding." My phone buzzed, mother calling for the first time since the reception. I put it on speaker. "Daisy," she said, her voice tired. "We need to talk about what happened." "Do we? I thought everything was perfect." "Your sister hasn't left her bed in days. The magazine article comes out tomorrow. Her social media followers are dropping by the thousands." "Sounds like a personal problem." "She's your sister." "Is she?" I stood up, pacing. "Because sisters don't erase each other. Sisters don't spend decades making each other feel worthless." Silence filled the line. "And mothers," I continued, "don't let it happen." I heard her sharp intake of breath. I never meant to. Save it. I'm done being the family disappointment. I'm done being invisible." "The photos," she whispered. "Everyone's talking about them. You looked beautiful, confident. Everything Victoria tried to pretend I wasn't." More silence. "I have to go," I said. "I have a lunch meeting with that magazine editor. Apparently, they want to do a follow-up piece. Something about toxic family dynamics and social media perfection." I hung up as Aidan walked in, carrying takeout. "Speaking of toxic," he said, "Hayden's moved out of the penthouse." "Already? The wedding was 3 days ago." Apparently, Victoria's true colours weren't what he signed up for. He asked about you again. Too bad I'm busy, I smiled. Very busy. My phone lit up with notifications. The wedding photos had started circulating online. Best wedding crash ever. That dress, that entrance, we stan a revenge queen. When the uninvited sister serves more than the bride, Zoe picked up another photo, me raising my glass in that final toast. You know what I love about this? You're not even trying to smile for the camera. You're just radiating. Grandma would have loved it, I said, touching the letter in my pocket. She always said I shone differently. My phone buzzed again, Victoria's number. For the first time since the wedding, I answered. What do you want? Why? Her voice was small. Why did you have to destroy everything? You really don't get it, do you? This wasn't about destroying your wedding. This was about finally being seen, really seen. Everyone hates me now. No, Victoria. Everyone just finally sees you. There's a difference. I ended the call and turned to my friends. I should feel bad, right? Guilty? Hell no, Zoe said, sorting through more photos. You didn't ruin her wedding. You just let her true colours show through her perfect filter. Aidan nodded. Sometimes karma needs a little push. I picked up my favourite photo, not of the entrance or the confrontation, but a quiet moment after. Me, standing alone by the venue's window, backlit by sunset. In my vintage dress, holding my grandmother's letter, looking not at the camera, but beyond it, looking free. What now? Zoe asked. I tucked the photo into my grandmother's letter. Now? I stop hiding, stop apologising, stop letting anyone make me feel small. And Victoria. Victoria can keep chasing perfect. I'm done chasing anything. My phone lit up one last time. A text from Father. You looked beautiful that day. Just like your grandmother. I smiled, thinking of her letter, of her seeing me when no one else did, of her knowing this day would come. Ready for lunch? I asked my friends. I hear that new rooftop place has the best lighting for photos. Perfect, Zoe grinned, grabbing her camera. And it was. Not Instagram perfect. Not Victoria perfect, but real perfect, my kind of perfect.